BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com. What is going on, boys? What is going on? Welcome back to episode number 49 of The Lobby. To my right, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Donnie Rightside. What's up, Donnie?
Football winding down. Exciting AFC, NFC championship games this weekend. Looking forward to betting them. Great prop shots on both of those football games. And away we go. By the way, let me remind everybody, February 14th, yeah, it's Valentine's Day. It's pitchers and catchers for baseball. Woo-hoo, boy, it's coming quick for us.
Just another day to love even more there, Donnie. Just
Crazy.
Another day.
Crazy.
And then moving on, Mr. Sam's in charge. Sammy, I'm liking what you're doing with the mustache here. It looks a little bit different this week.
Yeah, Sammy stash. Nothing really different, just shaved underneath it, shaved the goatee, little straggles here and there. So, had to highlight the stash, Sammy stash.
The Sammy stash. Well, Sammy, I know we had a little bit of a discussion off the air yesterday. You were going to the casino today. How did that turn out?
Actually went really well. Played a 1-3 cash game. Started with 300, and at one point was up over 1,000.
Wow.
And then ended up losing a couple big pots, but ended up leaving plus 590. So I won a high hand for $150 at one point. And one of my theories when I go to the casino is like, if I win money, then I like to dump some money at the slots because that's the way to hit a jackpot. And I lost $100 at the Wheel of Fortune game in like 3 or 4 minutes. It's ridiculous, but I only play slots if I'm up money. And I was like, all right, I was up a good amount and just dumped it away. So I was pretty, even though I won money, I was angry. Like, why did I just dump that?
You know what? I'm the same way. If I'm up, if I go to the casino, I'm up $600-700, and then I blow some of it back, I'm mad at myself. Okay, yeah, I won 100 or 200, but I was up so much more.
100%. Gambler's mindset.
Exactly. And last but certainly not least, Pipe. What's going on there, Pipe?
What's going on, man? How's everybody been doing here? It's been a great week for me. Doing a little cash money here on the sports bets, and yeah, I stay away from those slots, Sammy. They're not friendly to me.
Buffalo goal, baby. Buffalo goal.
No, they're not good to anyone.
You know what? They can be good. I mean, there are certain slots, without divulging too much information, there are certain slots that have some advantages to them. Myself, Fish Ed, a couple other guys are very aware of them, but they certainly can be good given the right dynamics, Sammy.
Well, I'll trust the professionals. I'll go play poker.
I have seen some people make money on them, but I've never been fortunate with them.
What about you, Donnie? What do you play when you hit the casino?
It's Buffalo. Like I will play slot machines. And by the way, at the evolution, right? Started out only playing blackjack to only playing craps. But then when you get married, you can't just play blackjack and craps because the wife doesn't want to do that. So elderly men like myself in the 40s generally gravitate toward the slot machines. Why? It's the only thing we can get away from at this point if you take the wife down to the casino. So there you go.
Right, exactly. Well, guys, let's jump right into it. Sammy, what do you got on the hardwood today? What do you got in the NBA for us?
Yeah, so NBA just got a couple things to actually kind of go over with the group. Doc Rivers to the Bucks. What do you think about that?
I like it. I personally like it. I know a lot of people in that thread that I made were hammering Doc, but I mean, I've always liked him as a coach personally, so I think it's going to be a good move.
I'm just interested that they're 30-13 team. I guess the players internally said that they had an issue with him. But with that being said, I'm going to take the Bucks -7 at home to Cleveland. Maybe they will play a little bit fiery tonight at home with the first game with Doc. And how about this for tonight? You got the Detroit Pistons with 4 wins, and they're a home favorite over Charlotte. So fuck it. Let's take Detroit -3. So Detroit and the Bucks, and then shout out the Knicks. They're 10-2 since that trade, and they're a solid 5 in the East. Still need another superstar there, but they're playing consistent, playing real well right now.
All righty, Pipe. You got anything on the hardwood for us this evening? Pipe, you with us, buddy?
Nope.
I don't think he's with us.
He's got
Donnie,
nothing.
let's move on to you. What do you got?
By the way, I'm going to go against Sammy for some fun tonight because you could play devil's advocate on these games. If the true handicapper looks at that line of Detroit and goes, no, hold on. They're favored by 3 points. When should they ever be favored? That's a stone cold sign to take the Pistons. But at the same time, I'm going to buy into the public and go, get out of here. I don't care who's not playing for Charlotte at this point. Detroit doesn't need to be a favorite in any circumstance, and take the Charlotte Hornets. And then also, you're right. Milwaukee is supposed to have that game tonight where they circle the wagons as players and go, look, we just got our coach fired. We come out tonight and get our tails kicked here. That's not going to be a good look. But having said that, like, Cleveland's won 8 straight games at this point. I'll take the 7 points tonight here with the Cleveland Cavaliers. If it was a betting angle for me and the players were angry here, Sammy, I would just go first quarter and be like, you know what? If the Bucks, you're going to come out fiery, it's definitely going to be in the first quarter. In the NBA, we always know it's a game of runs. Then on the West Coast, actually not the West Coast, really in Texas, on the Western Conference, I'm going to take Phoenix Suns playing really good basketball. This line opened up at 1.5, now sits at 2.5. Full goal lineup for the Suns. I'll take the Suns to win by 2.5 points tonight.
All righty. Good luck with those, Donnie. Pipe, we lost you there for a second. We were talking NBA. You got anything for us tonight?
Yeah, I got 2. I like that Portland. Am I here?
Go on. You're here. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, I like the Houston under 220.5, and another one is Dallas under 240. I like your pick on Milwaukee too, Sammy.
There you go.
All righty, Pipe. Well, good luck with those. And Sammy, speaking of poker, guys, make sure you jump in our poker event this coming Saturday. Feel free and click on my thread that'll be posted shortly. Feel free and shoot me a private message if you'd like to play. Be happy to have everyone and get your shot at some baller coins. Sammy, when's the next home game?
I don't know, probably about 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, we haven't set a date yet. Middle of February. Maybe probably the day after for the Super Bowl.
Okay, cool. Very nice. Very nice. Well, guys, I want to run something by you before we jump into the NFL. Sammy, I don't know if you've seen this. Donnie, I don't know if you've seen it, but out there in the internet, we have this conspiracy theory with the NFL Super Bowl and their logos. Dating back to the Rams and Bengals. If you take a look at that Rams and Bengals logo, it was orange and yellow. And then if you take a look at the the Eagles and Chiefs logo, it was green and red. Well, taking a look at the logo for this Super Bowl, it is red and purple
and red.
Which everyone is saying it indicates the Ravens and San Francisco. Donnie, what do you think? Is there any credence to this theory, or is it just outlandish?
That's pretty funny because I never actually took that into it. So these script writers out there said, we got to get this logo ahead of the time. We already know who the 2 teams are. So we're saying it's red and purple. Now, they are the 2 favorites here.
It is.
I was like, yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm getting a good look at that at this point. That is very interesting how it plays out because that would be a Ravens and San Francisco 49ers Super Bowl. So that's pretty good. Good on the NFL there. And maybe we should be betting accordingly to what the NFL says the game should actually be. So use that wisely.
Hey, I got to raise you on that one. How about Detroit versus Kansas City was the first game of the NFL season and now has an opportunity to be the last game of the NFL season.
Wow.
How's that for script?
The plot thickens.
It does.
And you guys notice the winner was the least color. Rams won it. See it? Less color. KC won it. Less color.
Until you brought that up. Wow.
Yeah. And 49ers is who I like, and they're the less color.
You buying into this theory at all, Sam?
I'm not. I mean, hey, we'll let whatever happens, but I'm not buying into the theory at all. You can't base it off 2 of them. If there was maybe 10, 15, 20 of them, 2 is not enough of a sample size to say that the conspiracy is in.
The new script writers are on it.
Yeah, I'm not buying it either, but it is kind of funny that people really believe it.
It is. I mean, it's gained traction, so it is.
The game's rigged, right? Nah.
Yes, exactly.
It's only rigged when we lose, right?
Ain't that the truth? Well, speaking of NFL, Donnie, how was your divisional round? What do you have? Who'd you like? What'd you do?
Saturday, not so good. Sunday, really good. And the reason why Saturday wasn't so good, because I'm more of a prop player than a side player anymore. Right. Deebo Samuel, I was teed up for that game and saying, boy, oh boy, am I going to win money here with Deebo Samuel? And He gets 2 catches for 22 yards and exits the football game, and away went my money. But had a nice Sunday overall, as it turns out. I am rooting for the Ravens. The very first prop that I placed this season was on the Baltimore Ravens to win the Super Bowl at an 18-1 price. And granted, I never see these through. So I've already started the hedging process by taking a little chunk here and putting it down on the Kansas City Chiefs this week. And I actually didn't go money line. I went with the 3.5, hoping for that sort of middle, like to win money and still move forward. But even if the Ravens do get to the Super Bowl, and regardless of who they play, I'm going to lay off a significant chunk on whatever team they line up against. But even if it is, let's just say the Detroit Lions, they'll be favored 3.5 to 4 points in that game. That's a great chance to get plus money on the opposite side. But even if it's the Niners, I mean, we're seeing like minus 110s both sides for the Super Bowl. So it's a good scenario as long as I can get my Ravens into the Super Bowl here. So we'll see how that plays out. But last week ended up being profitable, but Saturday didn't make Sunday look so good, but had a nice Sunday.
How was your weekend?
Me?
Yeah, how was your weekend? How was the NFL for you?
I only had one. I had KC, and I had the 2.5, and I posted the money line live in the forum when they were down there,
Right.
and that's the only play I did.
All right, Sammy, how about you? How was it?
Yeah, so I started off with a 10-team teaser, or I'm sorry,
Ooh.
3-team 10-point
Wow.
teaser.
Goodness.
That Houston
Wow.
was all the way up to
Taking a
plus
shot,
20, and they lost by 21, so that stunk. But then I had Green Bay.
Shit.
But then on Sunday, I was going into day 4 of the streak of fortune, and I had the Bills, so them not coming back stunk. I had the 2.5, so that was definitely setting up for a potential overtime field goal win. Or Josh Allen had a ball in the end zone on, I think it was second down. He just missed the guy, and
He's wide open.
happened. But on to this week for streak of fortune, and we'll see what happens this weekend.
Speaking of Streak of Fortune, guys, it returns tomorrow, Thursday. Make sure you get in there. 5 wins in a row get you $500. So make sure you're following us on Twitter. I mean, on X. Excuse me. Thank you, Sammy. On X at BMR Reviews for a chance to get into that. But shifting gears, gentlemen. Genie's shout out this week goes to the reigning poster of the year, JDS. JD, good luck, she
Beautiful.
says, on your big wager on Baltimore this coming weekend.
Oh,
it's a
yeah, let's
ballsy,
go Ravens.
ballsy play, but
Let's go
hopefully
Ravens.
you do cash that.
$10,000.
Yes.
I saw that.
Yes.
Rock, man.
Sammy, you got anything on the tennis court for us? How's that look?
Yeah, so tennis, we are down to the semifinals with tonight or overnight, depending on where you are. So East Coast, 3:30 a.m., West Coast, 12:30 a.m. But yeah, you're down to the women's semifinals. You got Sabalenka versus Coco Gauff, which is a rematch of the U.S. Open finals. Sabalenka is also the defending champion at Australia. And then the second semifinals is a qualifier, Yastrenka, who's ranked in the 90, who's going to be in the top 30 after this, versus the China world number 1, who's going to be in the top 10 after this, Zhang. Overall, I think Sabalenka is going to beat Coco tonight. I have her minus 3.5 games. And then Sabalenka is going to be like minus 1,000 to win the finals. Whoever wins between Coco and Sabalenka is going to be a big favorite. And then I'm going to be taking Yastrenka plus 3.5 games in the second semi. On the men's side, it's pretty much a dream semifinals. You have the 1, 3, 4, and the 6 seed. Djokovic versus Sinner. Sinner's beaten Djokovic 2 out of the last 3 times they've played, but they've never played on a 3 out of 5. Djokovic is 10-0 in the semis and 10-0 in the finals in Australia, so he's never been beaten. He hasn't lost in Australia in like 8 years, so pretty big matchup there. The second matchup is Zverev versus Medvedev. They've played 6 times last year. Medvedev has won 5-1. Zverev still hasn't won a title yet. Medvedev has 1 title. It's also lost to Djokovic in a final before as well, and beaten Djokovic in a U.S. Open final. And with that being said, I'm going to take Sinner plus 4 games, thinking that'll be a close 4 to 5 set matchup. I'm going to take the over in the Zverev Medvedev match, figuring again it's going to be 4+ sets and at least 1 to 2 tiebreakers.
All right. Good luck with those, Sammy. How's the threat looking? What's the record right now?
Overall, kind of been down over the last week, but I did go 3-0 last night. So, won the last couple, but in the middle of the way lost. But, whatever. We're still early in the season. Went 3-0 last night. We'll see how the semis and finals go.
All right. Good luck with that. Donnie, on to the college hardwood. How's the college basketball season been looking so far for you? What do you got
College been fun. Yeah, my sweet spot here, by the way, Bobby, usually in February, once we get about 6 to 7, 8 games here under our belts in conference play, which we do have now. A couple interesting numbers tonight that you want to take a look at. I'm sort of on that side where I'm going against the grain, but technically not. And hear me out how it makes sense. Alabama tonight, second in the SEC. You know who's unbeaten in the SEC? It's Auburn. Auburn's going on the road to take on Alabama. They're getting 3.5 Auburn here. I like the matchup for Auburn tonight, to be honest. I love the fact that they play great defense here and also turn the basketball over against their opponents. In SEC play, the number one team in SEC play at turning their opponent over, it's the Auburn Tigers. The number one team in SEC play at turning the basketball over themselves, it's the Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm going to take Auburn tonight with the points plus 3.5. Also, I'm going to take another one that lines up where I know the public really is betting one side here as sort of a trap and an upset alert. It's Northwestern getting 2.5 points against Illinois. I like Illinois tonight. Illinois is getting their superstar back who played last game and scored 16 points. Was out on rape charges here. He was actually suspended by the university, but went to court and got like a temporary restraining order so he can get back in. Scored 16 last game. He'll be on the court again tonight. I'm going to take Illinois here, minus 2.5. And then a game at home in the Big 12. Iowa State taking on Kansas State. The number looks heavy at 7.5, but Iowa State's the better basketball team in Hilton tonight. I think they put away Kansas State. So starting to have some fun with college basketball in February. Oh, yeah, we are going to have some fun in college basketball.
All right, good luck with those, Donnie. Sammy, you got anything on the college hardwood for us?
Yeah, so unfortunately, after listening to Donnie, I'm against him on this one. But in the best bet thread, I'm in second place right now at 14-6, and Pipe is in fourth place, just
all right,
less than a unit behind me. So still a long way to go.
Hanging.
But for my best bet tonight, I did take Alabama minus 3.5 home to Auburn, and good luck.
Pipe, what do you got on the college hardwood tonight? What are you liking over there?
I got two. I like that Southern Illinois under 134, and then one more, that Colorado State, Nevada. Those two under 143. I think both of those are going to be under games. I think they're going to be defensive, and I'm hoping.
All right, good luck with that, Pipe. Sammy, let's shift gears back over to the NFL for a minute. We got these games coming up on Sunday, starting off Kansas City and Baltimore. Baltimore's a 3.5 point favorite, depending on where you shop. Total at about 44.5. What do you like in this matchup?
Yeah, the 3.5 is definitely a tough line, especially in a conference finals game where it's easily a 3-point field goal, overtime type of game.
Right.
Shout out JDS on the $10,000 bet on the Ravens money line. That might be the way to go. I do like the Ravens. I don't really know if I like the minus 3.5. That
Right.
3.5 might
the hook,
be against Kansas City. But I did see that the over is one of the more public sides right now, getting a ton of money. So maybe the side is to go against the public and go on the under. Could be a big defensive battle. And even last week, 31-10, that stays under that 44. So right now, I like Baltimore money line. Not really sure on the overall play. In the second matchup, I definitely like Detroit plus 7. Again, San Fran can easily win that game. They can win it ugly like last week where Green Bay probably should have won that game. But hey, the good teams find a way to win. But I think 7 is too much in this type of game. Detroit has definitely proven that their offense has the firepower to match up. And without Deebo Samuel, questionable. We'll see what happens, even if he is playing, how effective is he going to be in that offense? If he's not running and catching the ball, they might not have to double him. So I definitely think Detroit will keep it close. So definitely on Detroit plus 7, and then we'll decide on the other game.
Good luck, Sammy. Pipe, what do you like in these two matchups this weekend?
Well, no conspiracy, but I like the favorites in both of them. I think the Ravens are gonna. I think the Ravens are gonna beat KC by a TD or more. I think they cover that spread, so I think JD's got a great bet on the money line. I don't know if I could lay 2-1 though, but I posted earlier when the San Fran game in the forum dropped to 6.5. I don't like laying 7 ever. It's not a good number. I laid 6.5 San Fran. I still think they'll win by 7. My guess is San Fran's going to show up this week. I know they didn't play good last week till the last drive there, kind of like Purdy was throwing some bad balls and stuff, but I feel he's going to get it right. He's getting critiqued a lot on the media too. So I'm going to say a 10-point win, 49ers.
All right. Good luck, Pipe. Donnie, what do you got in these two matchups for us?
Yeah, that first, I think Baltimore is the right side to win that football game. But again, you're still trying to counter Patrick Mahomes, where it's like, hey, is it going to be held to 13 points in this game? I don't think so, but I do think the Ravens are the better team. They're at home. And by the way, keep in mind also, we always talk about like going on the road in the NFL. Well, Kansas City has been on the road the past 2 weeks, but Baltimore's been home, basically not leaving their own, county in the past 6 weeks at this point, if you count in bye weeks and going through the playoffs here. They've been rested and they should be ready for this football game. And also, Kansas City has gotten the benefit of the doubt. Played Miami with a terribly banged up defense. Played last week against the Buffalo Bills, a terribly banged up defense. That's not the case here. This is a full gas Baltimore Ravens defense. I think they're the right side. I'm having a little bit of issues here in that second game, Detroit and San Francisco, because it looks easy just to take the Lions at the +7 points. But then again, if Deebo Samuel is not playing in this football game, it does make things harder. Like if you had a healthy Deebo Samuel last week against the Packers, he probably would have been a big part of that game, and maybe they would have won handily in that football game. He gets knocked out of that game. They can't move the football and there is rain. But the funny thing about this game is if you're a dome team like the Detroit Lions and you don't like to play outdoors, you're basically getting a dome atmosphere this week. 70 degrees at kickoff, no rain, and 2-mile-an-hour winds in Santa Clara. We should get a real clean slate to get a good look at both of these offenses. Early in the week this week, though, I am looking forward to that +7 on Detroit, but that could change because if Deebo doesn't play, maybe I like Detroit a little bit more. If Deebo's ready to go and no restrictions on Sunday afternoon, then it's going to be tough to stop that San Francisco 49ers offense. But I think we do get points in that game because we don't have any weather conditions to worry about for either side here.
All right, Donnie, good luck with those. And last but certainly not least, guys, Sammy, let's jump over to you on this one. We're going to talk food for a second, one of
Yeah, I love
Sammy's
food.
favorite topics
Mm.
and Donnie's favorite topics, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
damn right.
But talking food real quick, Sammy, they introduced this new double Big Mac at McDonald's. It's a huge sandwich, 4 patties, 2 buns, cheese, lettuce, pickles, special sauce. I'm never a Big Mac fan. I don't like the meat at McDonald's. What's your go-to when you go there, Sam? What do you
First
like?
off, let me turn this back to you and your Subway pretzel review. We had some great images that came. If you haven't seen the Bobby Footlong pretzel review, there's some great content in there. Yep, you can only imagine the screenshots. All right. In reference to fast food, I am not personally a big fast food eater. I probably can't tell you the last time I've had fast food. It's been a couple of years, but back in the day when I used to eat food, I know it's surprising because I smoke weed every day, but I don't eat fast food.
You don't get the munchies, huh?
I get the munchies. I eat my face off at home. I just cook at home. But anyway, when I did go to McDonald's, what I used to do is I would get 2 McDoubles, a 20-piece, and a large fry. And
so good.
Talking about it, gets me thinking about it. But
right, of course. Pipe, what you go to over there?
Well, as crazy as it may sound, I don't like Thousand Island. And I ate a Big Mac one time. But I remember as a kid back in the 80s in South Florida, I would order this religiously when I used to work with my buddies. I was like 17, 18. It would be 2 cheeseburgers, a large fry, and a large Coke for $1.41.
Whoa, look at that price. Bring that back.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't even get a water cup for $1.49.
But what my go-to is now is a fish fillet. I gotta eat the fish. That's my go-to.
All right, mine's usually 2 hot and spices. I don't, like I said before, I don't touch the meat there. 2 hot and spices with cheese, a large fry, and usually a large Coke. Their Coke, Sam, cannot be beat at McDonald's. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't drink soda either.
Oh wow, we're learning a lot.
Oh damn!
Is that how you maintain that figure?
It must be. I mean, I do eat my face off, but I'm a solid 152. So man's got a great metabolism.
I'm a damn Coke fanatic. Go figure.
Which one? Which one? Pipe.
Oh
no, not the white.
Good question, Donnie.
The soda. That was back in the day, Donnie. No more of that shit.
I can't do it at that age, man.
I'm too old for that shit.
Donnie, real quick before we get out of here, your McDonald's go-to.
I love McDonald's. By the way, The Big Mac is perfect the way it is. So just just throwing double patties. No. It's meant to be that way and tested over decades here of why it works. Can't get by the way, the best fry in the business is at McDonald's. But even going back to being as a kid, you can't go wrong with a cheeseburger, double cheeseburger from McDonald's. The McNuggets, absolutely fantastic. I'm a big fan. I love Chipotle, I love Chick-fil-A, and I love McDonald's. So I do enjoy the Big Mac, the quarter pounder, whatever you line up for me at McDonald's, I'm in on, man.
Well, since you brought up Chipotle, Sammy, what's your Chipotle order? I know you're eating that with that thin body over there. Move on.
What's your guys' favorite go-to when you go out to eat?
I don't eat fast food. No Chipotle. I don't do
No. It don't have to be fast food.
Pizza,
it could be whatever.
Anywhere, pipe. Just give me a good pizza anywhere. I'm in. I am absolutely.
You know what? I love that, but my go-to is Red Lobster. I love seafood, guys.
Yeah, seafood's big. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck this weekend, guys, on all of your action. And make sure you're following us on Twitter, on X, on whatever you want to call it nowadays, at BMR Reviews. Follow us on Instagram, at BMR_review. Make sure you shoot myself, shoot BMR Genie, shoot somebody a private message. Let us know that you're following, and you will get some baller coins for that. But again, best of luck with all the action this coming weekend, guys, and we will see you on the forum.
See ya.
Let's go Ravens and 49ers.